Hello again! Feedback from question 7. Alrighty. So this says, what if kindness isn't always saying yes to everyone who asks you for something? Are you currently saying yes to something that isn't creating ease and awesomeness for you? Now, the funny thing with that is, since I have begun choosing for me, and being really, really familiar with the energy of the life that I am desiring, choosing for me has been so much easier. So much easier. It's like, oh, does that match that energy of the life that I'm desiring? I don't have to be specific. Like, I don't have to know that I'm earning X amount of money and I'm living in this particular place with a bajillion rooms, or that's not the life necessarily, the energy of the life that I'm desiring. It's about just being, and not those specific concrete things, it's about just getting that energy, right? And when I find things, or things be presented to me, or people ask me to do things like accepting new clients, it's like, does that match the energy of the life that I am desiring? And if it does, sweet, I'll take that client on. If it doesn't, I say no. And that's the awesome part about having my job, is that I actually get to choose whether it's a yes or a no. I actually don't get dictated to who I get to go, or who I have to go and see and when. So that's the beauty, and why I really, really, really love my caring work and the company that I work for. And as far as my access stuff, same thing. Same thing. Like I was just talking about in video 6, or quick feedback. Like there was this lady who she ran my bars class, and we were just chatting and bringing up stuff, clearing stuff, and she's like, and I was saying, what sort of things I do with Grace, and the way I use my Facebook and all of that, and how I now use YouTube, and she's like, oh my God, I'd really love to learn how to do that. And um she's like got in touch with me, and she's like, after, like, on Tuesday I think it was, she got in touch with me and said, hey, could you come up and teach me how to do this stuff? I'd really like to get onto it now. And I'm like, in my head I'm like, does that match the energy? And it was like, hell yes, let's do this. And it's so cool because we had so much fun, we got so much work done. I had a great time. She has finally gotten a lot of stuff done that she's been wanting to do for months and months and months, but just didn't know how and didn't know who to ask necessarily. Um, and it is such a contribution for me, and I got a little bit clearer on some things. Like we were just chatting, and it's like there was a video on TED Talks that we watched about this guy who was talking about Apple and what makes them different as a company. And I have to say, I really, really appreciated hearing that, because it got me in touch a bit more clearly about the why I do what I do to create the life that I'm desiring. And it's because for me, my why is because I really wish to create change on the planet. It's not about making a bajillion dollars unless that actually is going to contribute to me creating change on the planet. So I hope you can I hope you can get that, and why that is so different from I just want a really big fancy house for this fucking sake of it. It's like, that's not about what I'm at. If that big fancy house is going to contribute to me creating change on the planet and awesomeness on the planet and just being so beautiful, then cool. I'll have the big fancy house. But if it's not, then I'm not interested. And just because, like, in relation to this question, just because somebody says, are you going to, will you do this? I'm like, if it doesn't match, I say no. And I've gotten way more comfortable with saying no. I used to say yes to everything and then get really stressed out. So I'm really grateful about that. I'm getting that there is probably still a couple of things in my world that I'm saying yes to that's maybe not contributing as much as it could be, and we'll work on those things. But for the moment, for the most part, I'm actually doing pretty goddamn well. So thank you for that question, Ellen, and I will talk to you guys tomorrow.